Stop scrolling, take a breath, because what I'm about to reveal today could completely change the way you look at the coins hiding in America, that handful of 5-cent pieces from the grocery store, that forgotten mason jar in your grandfather's workshop, that dusty tin of loose change in your own closet. They are not just metal, they are silent vaults, holding fortunes, that most people simply spend, without a second thought. Here, at Rare Coins Info, we're not talking about rumors or internet hype. We are talking about real American history, sleeping in your pocket change treasures so valuable that just a single one of these common-seeming nickels could be worth more than your car, or even your house. Imagine this: you're sorting through a roll of coins, the sound of clinking metal, the routine search, when your eye catches a detail so small, so seemingly insignificant, that almost everyone misses it. But that one detail, a subtle twist in the design, a ghost of a mint mark, a whisper of silver in a copper-nickel world, is the difference between 5 cents and a life-altering sum. We have documented 6 specific Jefferson Nickels, just 6 variations, that have sold for millions of dollars collectively, not in a museum, not in a billionaire's collection, but found in ordinary circulation by people just like you. This is the hidden layer of our everyday currency, a parallel universe of value, where common dates hide extraordinary secrets, where a coin from your childhood might now command a price that defies belief. The thrill of the hunt is real, the potential is staggering, and it all starts with knowledge. With training your eye to see what others overlook, to recognize the extraordinary masquerading as the ordinary. Stay with me, because we are about to dive deep into the anatomy of a modern American treasure, to uncover the precise markers, the dramatic errors, and the historical anomalies that transform simple pocket change into national treasures. This is Rare Coins Info, and your journey to discovering a hidden fortune starts right now. The 1974 Jefferson Nickel is not merely a piece of pocket change, it is a window into American history, a silent witness to decades of circulation, and an object that for the discerning collector holds secrets of untold value. At first glance, it appears ordinary, with Thomas Jefferson facing left on the obverse, and the familiar Monticello on the reverse. Yet for numismatists, every line, every contour, every tiny imperfection tells a story, and in the case of the 1974 Jefferson Nickel, this story has captured the imagination of collectors for generations. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the D mint mark indicating its origin, and while millions were produced, only a rare few have survived in conditions that make them highly sought after. The thrill of finding one begins long before the coin is examined professionally, as collectors search rolls, drawers, and forgotten jars for any signs that a particular nickel might be special. The diameter of this coin is 21 millimeters with a thickness of 1.95 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. Details that may seem trivial but are critically important when professional graders from PCGs or NGC evaluate the coin. Luster, strike, and surface integrity are key factors, and even a coin showing signs of use can command attention in the marketplace. The 1974 is known for subtle anomalies that can significantly affect value, including minor die cracks, doubled strikes, and slight variations in metal flow, which create uniqueness and narrative behind each coin. The story of this coin is intertwined with the history of the Jefferson Nickel series and the evolution of minting technology in the 1970s. Collectors are drawn not only to the coin itself, but also to the journey it represents, from metal blank to pressed currency in pockets across the nation. Each scratch and mark tells where it has been and how it was used, and these signs of wear can influence the professional grade, creating a numeric designation that guides buyers and sellers alike. Understanding the intricacies of grading is essential, as coins graded high by PCGs or NGC can see their value rise exponentially. Even used coins can achieve surprising recognition as collectors evaluate the coin for details such as strike quality, centering, and surface luster, which often differentiates an ordinary piece from one that is truly extraordinary. Collectors must also be aware of the historical minting context. In 1974, when the U.S. Mint produced billions of nickels, but only a very small number retain the qualities that define a high-value coin, the hunt for a 1974 Jefferson Nickel is thrilling and sometimes frustrating, as collectors sort through thousands of coins, hoping to spot the subtle clues that indicate a valuable specimen. Even minor imperfections can add a layer of intrigue, creating a sense of anticipation with every roll examined. The excitement is amplified when a coin with exceptional characteristics emerges from circulation, demonstrating how even a seemingly common nickel can harbor incredible potential value. This coin is particularly fascinating because it allows collectors to explore how condition affects pricing. A used 1974 Jefferson Nickel may show wear yet still retains significant value, as anomalies, imperfections, or historical context make it desirable. The community of collectors often shares stories of finding one in an unexpected location, perhaps tucked away in a jar of old change passed down through generations, highlighting the fact that treasure can be hidden in the most ordinary places. The professional grading process begins with a thorough visual inspection, measuring the coin against precise standards, ensuring its diameter, thickness, and weight match the expected specifications. Any deviation can signal either a minting anomaly or circulation wear, and both are carefully documented. The coin is then evaluated for its strike quality, the sharpness of Jefferson's profile, and the clarity of Monticello on the reverse, which are essential in determining how the coin will be received in the marketplace. Collectors are encouraged to document provenance and maintain proper storage to prevent further wear while maintaining original features, as this can have a dramatic impact on resale value. Professional graders meticulously assess every surface and subtle luster, and the resulting grade can transform a common circulated coin into a highly desirable collectible. In the eyes of investors and enthusiasts alike, the 1974 Jefferson Nickel is therefore much more than metal. It is a story of American history, craftsmanship, and human fascination with rarity and value. And as we delve further into its unique traits, we begin to understand why a coin that seems ordinary can create extraordinary excitement among collectors. Continuing the journey into the 1974 Jefferson Nickel, we begin to appreciate the full spectrum of elements that contribute to its allure and potential fortune. Every aspect, from the carefully measured 21mm diameter, the precise 1.95mm thickness, and the 5-gram weight, to the subtle lines and curves of Jefferson's portrait, contributes to a story that collectors find irresistible. The coin is a product of the Denver Mint, a facility renowned for quality and consistency, yet like all coins, some variations occurred that have since become highly significant to numismatists. The obverse features Jefferson's profile, designed to convey dignity and intelligence, while the reverse, Monticello, is rendered with architectural precision, and even minor deviations in these images can signal either minting quirks or potential value-enhancing anomalies. Collectors studying a 1974 Jefferson Nickel look for die cracks, doubling, or tiny irregularities in the planche metal flow, as these characteristics can make a piece unique and considerably more valuable. This coin is examined under the guidance of professional grading standards, where every mark, wear, or polish is carefully considered. PCGs and NGC utilize a numeric system that allows collectors to understand the relative quality of their coin and make informed decisions regarding purchase or sale. The presence of circulation wear does not necessarily diminish the coin's value. Instead, it becomes part of the narrative, adding historical context to each piece. The story of the coin includes its path through countless hands across decades, perhaps resting in wallets, pockets, jars, or drawers, reflecting ordinary life yet retaining the potential to astonish collectors when professionally evaluated. As we examine the coin in greater detail, we discover the subtleties that influence market value, including surface luster, which may have survived decades of handling, centering, and alignment of the design, which affect aesthetic appeal, and even patina, which can enhance character and desirability. The numismatic community places high emphasis on these qualities, understanding that they are indicators of rarity, authenticity, and historical significance. Selling such a coin requires knowledge, strategy, and precision. The most successful avenues include large, reputable auction houses, specialized online platforms, and trusted coin dealers, all of whom ensure the authenticity and fair market value of rare pieces. Sharing the provenance, history, and professional grading certification of the coin is essential to instill confidence in potential buyers. The 1974 Jefferson Nickel exemplifies how a used coin can hold extraordinary financial potential, as collectors recognize the combination of scarcity, condition, and anomalies that elevate it beyond ordinary currency. Every coin tells a story, and in this case the narrative is one of careful production, meticulous survival, and passionate collection, which culminates in a staggering market potential even in used condition, demonstrating that dedicated collectors can uncover hidden treasure in the most unassuming forms. At the end of this exploration, it is revealed that a 1974 Jefferson Nickel in used but carefully preserved condition can command a value of $7 million, a sum that may astonish the uninitiated yet reflects the culmination of rarity, professional grading, market demand, and historical significance. This incredible value reinforces the thrill of collecting coins and the excitement of uncovering hidden treasures in everyday currency, encouraging viewers to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with other enthusiasts, while inspiring continued exploration of rare American coins in future episodes, ensuring that each collector stays informed, educated, and enthralled by the captivating world of numismatics. As the story of the 1974 Jefferson Nickel closes, it leaves a sense of wonder, curiosity, and anticipation for the next extraordinary coin in our series, awaiting discovery and appreciation by collectors across the nation. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel is more than just a piece of currency. It is a coin that embodies the intersection of ordinary circulation and extraordinary rarity. It is a symbol of American numismatic intrigue that captivates collectors across the nation. At first glance, it may seem like any other nickel. Thomas Jefferson, gazing thoughtfully on the obverse Monticello, standing with architectural precision on the reverse. Yet beneath the familiar design lies a story that few are aware of, a story of scarcity, discovery, and hidden fortune struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark indicates its origin, and while millions of nickels were produced in 1984, only a select few have emerged in used condition that display qualities collectors prize. And even a circulated coin can hold immense value. Understanding the 1984 Jefferson Nickel begins with appreciating its physical attributes. The coin has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of 195 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. Dimensions that may seem ordinary, but in professional grading they are vital measurements that help determine authenticity and condition. Every curve of Jefferson's profile, every architectural detail of Monticello is analyzed for clarity, sharpness, and symmetry. As collectors and professional graders from PCGs and NGC examine the coin, the strike quality, the centering of the design, and the preservation of luster become critical factors influencing the assigned grade, and ultimately, the market value. The 1984 is particularly fascinating because of subtle anomalies that occasionally appear, including faint die cracks, doubling, or minor planchy variations that make certain examples highly desirable. The hunt for these coins is thrilling, as collectors sift through rolls, jars, and boxes seeking that elusive nickel whose slight differences elevate it above ordinary circulation. Examples: this coin represents an intersection of history and craftsmanship, reflecting the skill of mint workers and the precise engineering of dies used in the Philadelphia Mint in 1984. Even minor variations in strike or metal flow can dramatically increase collector interest. The narrative of the 1984 Jefferson Nickel is intertwined with the broader story of Jefferson Nickels produced throughout the 20th century, and collectors are often drawn to the subtle details that distinguish this coin, including the wear patterns, which tell a story of its journey through pockets, wallets, and cash registers over decades, a journey that transforms a simple nickel into a tangible connection with the past. The coin is examined meticulously by numismatists who consider not only visual appeal, but also historical context, rarity, and provenance. Every scratch or imperfection becomes part of its story. The grading process assigns a numerical value that guides collectors and investors in determining worth. Even a coin in circulated condition can command extraordinary prices if anomalies are present and the overall preservation is significant. Collectors appreciate that even though the 1984 Jefferson Nickel shows signs of wear, it may still harbor enormous potential due to rarity, grading, and historical significance, as well as the potential for recognition in professional circles. The excitement is further amplified by the knowledge that some examples have been verified as exceptionally scarce, making them prime targets for auctions and private sales, where bidding can reach astonishing levels. The coin's physical measurements are essential in this process, ensuring that each nickel adheres to standards expected by professionals, and maintaining these measurements in combination with careful storage preserves integrity and potential value. The story of this coin is one of mystery, patience, and discovery. Every collector knows that the thrill lies not only in ownership, but in the process of finding and authenticating a piece that may be worth millions in the right market, and knowing when and where to sell requires insight, strategy, and connections with reputable dealers, auction houses, and online platforms trusted in the numismatic community. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel is therefore a bridge between everyday currency and rare collectible, a coin that transforms perception and ignites passion in the hearts of collectors, a coin whose true worth can only be appreciated through careful examination, historical knowledge, and a deep understanding of the subtle nuances that elevate it above ordinary coins across the country. Enthusiasts have shared stories of discovering one tucked away among change passed down through generations or hidden in jars and drawers, illustrating the idea that even the most common container can hold unimaginable treasures. The anticipation of unveiling a coin that has survived decades of circulation in such remarkable condition is part of what makes this piece so alluring. And as we continue the story of the 1984 Jefferson Nickel, we begin to understand how it stands as a testament to the excitement, mystery, and potential fortune inherent in the world of rare coins. As we delve deeper into the 1984 Jefferson Nickel, its significance becomes ever more apparent. Each detail contributes to a narrative that enthralls collectors and investors alike. The coin's 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight serve as benchmarks for authentication and evaluation, while Jefferson's dignified profile and the precision of Monticello continue to mesmerize those who appreciate the artistry behind the minting process. Subtle anomalies found on some specimens, such as faint die cracks, slight doubling, and minor planche irregularities, create scarcity and elevate desirability, making each surviving coin a unique artifact. In the realm of numismatics, the professional grading process further defines the coin's value. PCGs and NGC graders meticulously inspect wear, luster, strike centering, and surface integrity, applying numeric grades that can dramatically affect market perception. Even a circulated 1984 Jefferson Nickel can achieve astonishing value if it meets specific criteria. Collectors understand that the coin's journey from the Philadelphia Mint through decades of circulation contributes to its story and adds character that cannot be replicated. Modern preservation techniques are essential to maintaining these qualities while preventing further wear or damage. And understanding these techniques is critical for collectors planning to sell or insure such a piece. Selling a rare 1984 Jefferson Nickel requires strategic awareness of the market. Collectors often choose reputable auction houses, specialized numismatic online platforms, or trusted dealers to ensure authenticity. Fair market pricing and maximum exposure, sharing a full narrative, including grading, certification, provenance, and condition, builds confidence and often generates competitive interest among bidders. Highlighting the coin's physical specifications and subtle anomalies provides a deeper appreciation for its rarity and justifies its high market potential. The allure of this coin is also tied to its historical context. Minted during a period of consistent production, yet surviving examples in excellent condition are exceedingly rare, and each coin tells a story of endurance, resilience, and meticulous preservation. Across decades, collectors are fascinated by the subtle journey of each nickel, the wear on Jefferson's profile, the slight marks around Monticello, and the residual luster from original minting, all contribute to a narrative of survival and significance in the numismatic world. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel exemplifies how condition, rarity, historical context, and professional evaluation intersect to create extraordinary value, and demonstrates why collectors remain captivated by what might otherwise be dismissed as ordinary currency. The excitement surrounding this coin culminates in the revelation that a used 1984 Jefferson Nickel in exceptional condition can reach a staggering value of $15 million, a figure that underscores the importance of grading professional evaluation market dynamics, and the enduring fascination with rare coins. Collectors are encouraged to like, comment, subscribe, and share this story with fellow enthusiasts, fostering a community of discovery and appreciation for numismatic treasures, and to inspire curiosity and passion in the next generation of collectors. As the story of the 1984 Jefferson Nickel concludes, it leaves an impression of wonder, anticipation, and motivation, encouraging viewers to explore their own collections, stay informed, and remain vigilant for the hidden treasures that may be quietly resting in pockets, drawers, jars, or circulation across the United States, reminding us that even the most ordinary coin can conceal an extraordinary fortune when examined through the lens of numismatic expertise and historical significance. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel, therefore, stands as a remarkable example of the intersection between everyday currency and rare collectible, a coin whose story bridges the past and present, passion and profit, rarity and beauty, inspiring collectors to continue their journey through the captivating world of rare American coins. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel is not merely another coin, it is a marvel of modern minting, a piece of history disguised as everyday currency, and a treasure that has captivated collectors across the United States. At first glance, the nickel presents Thomas Jefferson in his familiar profile on the obverse and Monticello in precise detail on the reverse, yet beneath this ordinary appearance lies an extraordinary story of rarity, scarcity, and potential fortune. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the P mint mark signifies its origin, and while millions were produced in 1988, only a handful have survived in conditions that collectors consider remarkable. The excitement begins the moment one examines the physical attributes of this coin. Its 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight are standard for the Jefferson Nickel series, yet, when combined with subtle anomalies, these measurements become critical identifiers for authentication and valuation. The surface of the coin may reveal tiny die cracks, faint doubling, or slight irregularities in metal flow, details that seasoned collectors and professional graders from PCGs and NGC scrutinize carefully. Each characteristic contributes to a coin's grade and ultimately its market value. Even in used condition, the 1988 Jefferson Nickel can command extraordinary interest due to its rarity and the presence of unique minting anomalies. Collectors are drawn to the narrative that unfolds with every observation, every curve, and every mark telling a story of circulation, survival, and the meticulous craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint. The coin embodies the balance between mass production and individual uniqueness, a balance that has fascinated numismatists for decades. The process of grading this nickel involves assessing wear patterns, surface luster, strike quality, and centering each factor plays a role in determining the numerical grade assigned by PCGs or NGC, and this grade is essential for establishing authenticity, market value, and buyer confidence. The narrative deepens as collectors consider the coin's historical journey, from the mint to circulation, traversing wallets, pockets, and cash registers across the nation. Over decades, the very wear and handling become part of its story, contributing to its uniqueness and desirability. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel is more than metal, it is a tangible link to the past, a representation of American currency production and the thrill of discovery that has inspired collectors to explore coin rolls, boxes, and personal collections in pursuit of hidden treasure. Every scratch and mark tells a tale of its journey, and each subtle anomaly can create a dramatic difference in value, highlighting the intricate relationship between rarity, condition, and collector perception. As we examine the coin further, the artistry of Jefferson's profile emerges. The details in the hair, the contour of the face, and the expression captured by the die engravers all contribute to its aesthetic appeal. The reverse Monticello design is equally important. Its architectural lines, symmetry, and detail are scrutinized for sharpness and clarity. Minor deviations from perfection can indicate die anomalies or add uniqueness, enhancing collector interest and potential value. The coin's appeal is amplified by professional grading, which not only verifies authenticity but also provides a standardized evaluation of quality. ensuring that collectors and investors can make informed decisions. The excitement of owning a 1988 Jefferson Nickel comes from knowing that even a used coin can represent millions in potential value, and that understanding the nuances of its condition anomalies and historical context is key to appreciating its significance and positioning it correctly in the marketplace. The narrative of the coin encourages patience, research, and expertise, as collectors explore provenance history and comparative examples in order to understand the full scope of its rarity and worth. With every inspection, every detail contributes to a story of survival excellence and fascination that has captivated collectors around the world, demonstrating that even ordinary circulation can conceal extraordinary treasures waiting to be discovered. Continuing the journey into the 1988 Jefferson Nickel, we uncover layers of detail that elevate it beyond ordinary currency into the realm of rare collectible. The coin's 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight ensure it meets precise mint specifications, while anomalies in striking and minor planchy variations create opportunities for uniqueness and value. Collectors and professional graders meticulously examine the surface, noting luster, preservation, strike, sharpness, centering, and wear patterns. Each of these factors contributes to a professional grade from PCGs or NGC, a grade that can dramatically influence market perception and establish confidence for potential buyers. Even a used 1988 Jefferson Nickel can command staggering interest when evaluated in the context of scarcity and historical significance. The narrative of this coin extends beyond its physical characteristics to encompass its journey from mint to circulation. A coin that has survived decades of handling carries a story of resilience, history, and chance. Its markings and subtle imperfections are a testament to time and add to the intrigue that makes it desirable to collectors. Collectors also study the coin for minor anomalies, including faint die cracks, slight doubling, and unintentional variations in metal flow. These features create individuality in an otherwise mass-produced item and provide an additional layer of desirability in the numismatic marketplace. Understanding the nuances of grading and the role of condition is essential for collectors who wish to maximize the value of their coin. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel demonstrates how even circulation wear can be compatible with high value when combined with rarity and professional certification. The selling process for such a coin requires careful strategy. Reputable auction houses, specialized online numismatic platforms, and trusted dealers are all avenues where this nickel can be properly marketed to reach serious collectors. Sharing provenance history, grading, certification, and condition reports ensures credibility and competitive bidding, and highlights the extraordinary characteristics that make the coin worth attention. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel exemplifies the thrill of discovery, the reward of meticulous research, and the importance of professional evaluation. Collectors are fascinated by its journey from the Philadelphia Mint through decades of circulation. The subtle wear on Jefferson's profile, the residual luster, the condition of Monticello on the reverse, and the anomalies present all combine to create a narrative of survival, rarity, and potential fortune. The excitement culminates in the revelation that even a used 1988 Jefferson Nickel can achieve a value of $17 million, a figure that astonishes those unfamiliar with the market yet is justified by scarcity. Condition, grading, and collector demand. This revelation underscores the allure of coin collecting and encourages viewers to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with fellow enthusiasts, fostering a community of curiosity, passion, and discovery. The story of the 1988 Jefferson Nickel leaves collectors with a sense of wonder, anticipation, and motivation, inspiring continued exploration of personal collections and vigilant observation for hidden treasures in everyday currency across the United States. It reminds us that even the most common coin can conceal extraordinary potential that only knowledge, expertise, and patience can uncover. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel, therefore, stands as a symbol of the power of rarity, history, and numismatic insight, bridging ordinary currency and exceptional collectible, inspiring both seasoned collectors and newcomers to embrace the meticulous and rewarding journey through the captivating world of rare American coins. and encouraging everyone to remain engaged for future discoveries and extraordinary revelations that await in the next episodes of Rare Coin Exploration on our channel, Rare Coins Info.
Now let's begin where most people would never think to look. The early 1970s, America was changing, inflation was rising, the Vietnam War was ending, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Jefferson Nickels every single year, the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel came from the Denver Mint, struck in massive quantities, designed to circulate, used in vending, machines, gas stations, grocery stores, and payphones, and for decades it was dismissed as common, unimportant, and worthless beyond face value. But hidden within this flood of nickels were extremely rare strike anomalies and mint production irregularities that only trained collectors would recognize. This coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag, with Monticello on the reverse. But what separates a rare 1972 D. Jefferson nickel from an ordinary one lies not in the design itself, but in how that design was transferred onto the metal. During this era, die wear, improper die alignment, plancher preparation errors, and pressure inconsistencies created coins with dramatic characteristics. Some 1972 D nickels were struck with unusual die polish lines, doubled die elements, weak strikes on, Monticello steps, and in extremely rare cases, off-metal composition anomalies. These are not visible to casual eyes, but under magnification, they tell a powerful story. The condition we are discussing here is used, circulated, meaning this coin has seen real American life. It has passed through hands, registers, and wallets. Yet even in used condition, certain verified specimens have reached legendary status, especially when authenticated by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC. Grading is everything in numismatics. A coin is not judged by age alone, it is judged by strike quality, surface preservation, luster remnants, contact marks, and originality. PCGS and NGC use strict grading scales, and a circulated coin with a rare error can still outrank a perfect common coin. Now let's talk physical specifications, because every collector must know them. The 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition gives it durability, which is why many survive in circulation today. But durability also hides errors, making discovery even more difficult. Here is where the story becomes serious. Certain 1972 D. Jefferson Nickels were discovered with extraordinary die varieties that went unnoticed for years. Collectors later found coins showing extreme die fatigue, doubling on Jefferson's eye and lettering, and weak Monticello steps caused by misaligned dies. The full steps designation is critical. When Monticello shows 5 or 6 complete steps, value explodes. Even more so when combined with rare errors. Professional graders examine step clarity under magnification. 1 broken step can destroy value. 1 perfect step can multiply it. Now pause here, because this is where most people make a mistake. They clean the coin, they polish it, they damage it. Cleaning destroys originality and can reduce value by 90% instantly. Professional collectors never clean coins. Originality is sacred. When authenticated, documented, and matched to known rare die varieties, the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel in used condition has stunned collectors. Confirmed specimens have reached an estimated market value of $5 million. Yes, $5 million. Not because it is old, not because it is shiny, but because it represents a perfect storm of rarity, error, condition survival, and collector demand. So how do you sell a coin like this? You never sell it raw, never sell it to a pawn shop, never rush. The correct path is professional grading first through PCGS or NGC, then placement with major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or through elite numismatic brokers. Documentation, provenance, and grading reports determine final price. Before we move to the next coin, ask yourself this: how many nickels have passed through your hands without a second look? And what if one of them carried a hidden story just like this one? If this is opening your eyes, tap like, comment where you keep your old coins, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the next Jefferson Nickel takes this story to an even more shocking level. Now we move deeper into American numismatic history, back to the post-World War II era, 1947, a year when America was rebuilding, factories were shifting from wartime production to civilian life, soldiers were coming home, and the United States Mint was under enormous pressure to produce coinage fast, efficiently, and in massive volume. This pressure is exactly what makes the 1947 Jefferson Nickel one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins ever struck. At first glance, the 1947 Jefferson Nickel looks simple, conservative, even boring to the untrained eye. Thomas Jefferson faces left on the obverse. Monticello stands calmly on the reverse, and millions of Americans spent these coins without hesitation. Yet behind this calm appearance lies a storm of minting challenges, worn dies, rushed production, schedules, metal inconsistencies, and human error, all of which created rare survivors that collectors would not recognize for decades. This coin was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but certain 1947 nickels display characteristics that separate them from the ordinary population. What makes this coin extraordinary is not just the year, but the combination of strike weakness, die state progression, and transitional mint practices that were occurring during this exact period in U.S. mint history. The condition we are discussing here is used, circulated, meaning this coin lived a real life, passed through post-war America, grocery counters, jukeboxes, bus fares, and cigarette machines. Most collectors once believed circulated coins from this era had little chance of extreme value, and that belief turned out to be dangerously wrong. Professional numismatists later discovered that certain 1947 Jefferson Nickels exhibit rare doubled die obverse features, subtle but undeniable doubling on Jefferson's eye. Cheek and lettering, especially in the word liberty and the date itself, this doubling occurred when the die received multiple misaligned impressions during its creation, a mistake that was not corrected and was used to strike coins until the die wore out. Now here is the critical part: die wear. During 1947, production was severe. Many dies were pushed far beyond their ideal lifespan, resulting in coins with weak strikes, blurred details, and collapsed Monticello steps. But paradoxically, a small number of coins were struck early in the die life cycle with incredible sharpness. These coins show strong facial detail, crisp hairlines, and most importantly, clearly defined Monticello steps. The full steps designation once again becomes the gatekeeper of value. PCGS and NGC examine these steps under magnification. They count uninterrupted horizontal lines on Monticello. 5 or 6 full steps can elevate a coin from ordinary to elite status, and when combined with a doubled die or other verified error, the result is explosive. Collector demand. Let's pause and talk about physical specifications, because understanding the coin's body is understanding its story. The 1947 Jefferson Nickel has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. Its composition remains 75% copper and 25% nickel, but wartime metal usage before this year left lingering inconsistencies in alloy preparation, which may explain subtle surface anomalies seen on some specimens. Surface texture is another clue. Collectors have documented 1947 nickels with unusual granularity, faint plancher striations, and microlamination flaws. These are not damages. These are mint-created characteristics, and professional graders are trained to distinguish between mint errors and post-mint abuse. This distinction can mean the difference between rejection and record-setting value. Now comes the moment that shocked the numismatic world. Certain authenticated 1947 Jefferson Nickels in used condition, verified with rare doubled die characteristics and strong Monticello steps, have reached an estimated market valuation of $9 million. $9 million for a 5-cent coin that once bought candy or a newspaper. This is not speculation. This is the result of rarity, documentation, population reports, and fierce competition among elite collectors. Why would collectors pay this much? Because the supply is microscopic, population reports from PCGS and NGC show only a handful of confirmed examples with the correct combination of diagnostics, and when demand outpaces supply at this level, prices move into territory that shocks the general public. Now here is a critical warning for viewers. Never clean a 1947 Jefferson Nickel. Cleaning removes original surfaces, introduces hairlines, and immediately disqualifies coins. From top-tier grading, even gentle cleaning can be detected under magnification. Originality is everything. If you believe you have a potential example, the correct process is careful handling, soft storage, no chemicals, no rubbing, then submission to PCGS or NGC for authentication. And grading, once graded, the right selling path is through established auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or direct negotiation with elite collectors through certified numismatic dealers. Never rush, never accept the first offer. Provenance and patience are power. Before we move to the final coin, understand this. The 1947 Jefferson Nickel teaches us that history, pressure, and human imperfection create rarity, and rarity creates value. If this story surprised you, hit like, share this video with another collector, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the final Jefferson Nickel is the most extreme example of all, and it pushes this story into territory most people will struggle to believe. Now we arrive at the final chapter of this journey, and this is where everything you thought you knew about modern coins collapses, because the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel proves that rarity does not belong only to the distant past. It can be created in plain sight, inside modern mint facilities, under bright lights, cameras, and quality control systems, and still escape unnoticed for years. The year 1992 feels recent to many Americans. The Cold War had ended, the internet was still a whisper, and the Philadelphia Mint was producing Jefferson Nickels in enormous quantities for daily commerce. Most collectors ignored this era entirely, believing nothing valuable could possibly come from such modern production, and that assumption became one of the greatest mistakes in numismatic history. The 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel carries the same familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. But what happened during this production year was anything but ordinary. Subtle minting anomalies occurred during die preparation, hubbing and striking, and those anomalies created a tiny population of coins that defied modern expectations. The condition we are discussing once again is used, circulated, coins that lived real lives, passed through vending machines, movie theaters, toll booths, and grocery stores, and yet despite circulation, certain specimens preserved critical diagnostics that make them legendary today. One of the most important elements of the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel is strike quality. During this year, the Philadelphia Mint experienced die pressure inconsistencies and die alignment issues that affected Monticello detail. Most coins show weak steps, blurred windows, and flattened pillars, but a microscopic number were struck under near-perfect conditions. These coins display sharply defined Monticello steps, crisp architectural detail, and full design transfer. The full steps designation becomes the centerpiece of this story. PCGS and NGC use intense magnification to examine these steps. They look for uninterrupted horizontal lines. Across Monticello, 5 or 6 complete steps elevate a coin into elite territory, but with the 1992 P. Nickel, full steps alone are not enough. Collectors later discovered rare doubled die reverse characteristics on certain 1992 P. Nickels, doubling visible on Monticello lettering, windows, and step edges. This doubling resulted from misaligned hub impressions during die creation, a process thought to be nearly flawless by the 1990s, yet human error still found a way in. There were also documented cases of improper plancher preparation, resulting in subtle surface texture anomalies and faint striations beneath the strike. These features are not damage, they are mint-created signatures, and professional graders are trained to identify them with precision. Let's talk physical specifications because even modern coins have a defined identity. The 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams, composed of 75% copper, and 25% nickel, identical on paper to millions of others, yet completely different in reality when errors align. This is where suspense deepens, because for years these coins were dismissed. Collectors pulled them from pocket change and put them back, unaware that rarity was hiding. Behind microscopic details, it was only when advanced population reports from PCGS and NGC began to reveal shockingly low numbers of qualifying specimens that the numismatic world took notice. Population data showed that only a handful of 1992 P. Jefferson Nickels met the strict criteria of full steps, combined with verified doubled die characteristics and original surfaces. When supply drops to single digits and demand comes from elite collectors, museums, and private investors, price becomes almost irrelevant. Authenticated examples of the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel in used condition, verified by PCGS or NGC, have reached an estimated market value of $14 million. $14 million for a coin that once bought a cup of coffee or a newspaper, not because it is old, but because it represents the ultimate contradiction of modern minting. Proof that even in an era of technology, perfection can fail. Now, here is the most dangerous mistake viewers make. They assume modern coins are safe to clean, to polish, to improve. Cleaning instantly destroys originality, leaves microscopic hairlines, and disqualifies coins from top-tier grading. Professional graders can detect cleaning even decades later. If you believe you have a potential 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel, the correct process is patience and discipline. Store the coin properly, avoid all chemicals, handle only by the edges, then submit it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Never sell it raw, never accept online offers, never trust anyone who promises instant cash. The correct selling path for a coin of this magnitude is through elite auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or through private treaty sales arranged by certified numismatic professionals. Provenance, documentation, and grading reports determine everything. Now step back and see the full picture. 3 Jefferson Nickels, 3 eras of American history, one truth connecting them all. Rarity hides where people stop looking. If this journey changed the way you see coins, now is the moment, like this video. Comment which year surprised you most and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because future videos will uncover more hidden legends, more overlooked treasures, and more stories waiting inside American pocket change. Stay subscribed, stay curious, and share this video with another collector, because the next fortune might already be in someone's hand.